Hi, worblux. Well, I have a lot to go through. I made some notes on your video. We'll see if I can make it in 10 minutes. Okay, you start off saying markets don't need roads, but you also say that a market is the community that is interacting with itself. It's the community you interact with. And that's my point. Roads and infrastructure in general increase interaction. Okay, so they increase the scale and scope of markets. So it's not just a separate question, you have to explain to me how you are going to ensure that there is this interconnection. Okay, you also point out, and this is another recurring thing about real-time monitoring, say, hey, an entrepreneur can do that too. Well, I said that, okay. Basically, for most of this, let's assume the bureaucrat, an individual, we're talking about the same individual if he's in the bureaucratic position or if he's in a capitalist position. In either case, a person that understands how to get data can be clever and get data. Okay, so for the most part, we're going to consider these two people equal in those kinds of regards. And we're going to look at other parts of the system. Okay, now, I have to say, predicting prices is complicated, and you simplify it. A road costs millions of dollars. You can't know what the traffic is going to be, so you cannot figure out how all of those prices. It doesn't matter how simple the math is. You can't get the input information to really be confident in the result of that math. And yet, it's there. So it's hard to know how much money will this road make? How much growth will it enable? It's hard, but it's easier to know the answer to the question, will this road benefit these communities? And that's why communities make these bets, because they can be sure that, well, it's going to help our communities. We're not sure if the municipality will get its money back in its fees and taxes, or how the benefit will be distributed. But if you have an organization that has a general interest in the health and strength of the community, it can know that that community will benefit. It just doesn't know the details of how it'll come out. Exactly where the monetary benefit will go. If they know overall that the communities will benefit, then that's a good decision, right? So I would like to ask you too, private roads are legal right now, so why don't we have these special service roads? Why don't we have these high quality roads, special quality private toll roads? Why don't we have that? Why isn't there a whole network of roads? You would not have to pay the DMV your government fees, your taxes that are so bothersome if there is just this private network of roads. Why isn't there? Private roads are perfectly legal. Why isn't there a private road that outperforms the public road? You save your fees that they charge you to go on those public roads, and why can't somebody provide you that same service for that same price? Huh? Or a better price but a better service? Why? Why? It's legal now. Okay, the question applies to currency too. People talk about the government shouldn't do. Private currencies are legal now. You can all use American Express for all of your interactions, American Express checks. But do you? Yeah, no. So it's legal. Why don't you do it? Okay, you say you don't need trucks and roads for the market. You went back into you don't need the trucks, and you have to describing what they do for the market. But how do you have interaction? How is there any interaction if you don't create the infrastructure to ensure interaction? And you guys said, well, so what if you have to airlift your supplies in and out? I mean, if have a field of sugar cane and I have to airlift the sugar cane to the sugar mill, that is not. Yeah, you might as well have, prohibited and just literally stopped me from doing it, because that does not make sense. It is the cost of airlifting that sugar will mean you don't make any money on selling the sugar. So yeah, the person that puts you in that situation has simply, stopped you from trading your good. Um, when we support big trucks, we're not just supporting the big businesses that use the big trucks. We're supporting the community that needs goods to be delivered by that kind of a truck. Now, as I pointed out, the entrepreneur can't make a better decision. Okay, but you say that the entrepreneur has a stronger incentive. I say that's speculative, okay, because the bureaucrat has an incentive to please the public. Now, whether that's strong or not depends on who they are as individuals, and even so, I admit there is a strong personal incentive. There's for the entrepreneur who's taking more risk personally, um, but But again, as we're talking about, that doesn't make, the market like all things good. It doesn't make the market efficient. No, the market is more about creativity, and and where you might want to try things 5 or 6 times to get a success, and then you stick with the success. And engineering is when you want to succeed the very first time. When you're going to do something, you need it to succeed the first time. Okay, so you just let a market build a bridge across the river. Well, somebody builds a bridge, it falls down. Okay, that's all their loss, and whoever was on the bridge at the time. And somebody else does it. It keeps falling down and breaking. Finally, someone makes one strong enough. Okay, yeah, that's a market solution to that, and you'll eventually get a good enough bridge if people still keep having this need to cross wherever the bridge crossed. But, okay, but if you want to just build a bridge the first time and have it work and last for decades or whatever your standards are, then use engineering, okay? And you can, of course, combine engineering and market principles. Now, you said that, let's see, wait. Okay, yeah, no. No, I got a problem here. Okay. Okay. The question here is how you provide a common infrastructure. Okay. How do you provide common infrastructural goods, which are traditionally free? So metaphorically, they're free, like air and water used to be. Now you have to pay for water, and these things are kind of supposed to be free infrastructures. And so we're trying to, even if they cost money or become more restricted, or we have new goods that have become a part of our infrastructure that maybe are technological and do cost some amount of money. What do you want to do? Well, you want to make those as freely available as possible. You're going to keep them cheap, so that even though they cost money, like water, it's cheap enough that you pretty much have free access to water. Or, maybe like the roads, it is going to be significant. They're going to charge you a few $100s to have access to the roads, but it's going to be at a flat rate, so everybody pays their flat rate. And it's not that a truck doesn't pay more, a truck pays more. People with many cars, they pay more. Okay, but once they get on the road, it's just an open deal, the open free use of the road, and that keeps the metaphorical nature of our infrastructure where it's freely available. Because the more you have this infrastructure freely available, then the more you can make reliable decisions. And we can apply the principles of free market where we need lots of creativity and we want to, but it's not that it's more efficient. No, those markets are expensive, okay, but they're creative. The things will be tried over and over, and they're inefficient. I mean, like, look, you said that I don't know why it keeps paging around these notes all around. Okay. All right, I'll make a second one. Sorry, I lost my train of thought, but I'll go into my second one.